You keep falling for distant people, and part of you already knows it is not random. Why does it feel like you are stuck in the same story with a different face each time? The psychological answer is simple. Your brain prefers familiar emotional patterns over unfamiliar safety. When someone is distant, unpredictable, or hard to read, you feel drawn in. Why? Because uncertainty activates your brain's reward system. From a psychology point of view, unpredictable attention releases dopamine, the same chemical involved in motivation and pursuit. The less consistent the reward, the more your brain chases it. This is called intermittent reinforcement. Short answer, inconsistency is addictive. But addiction to unpredictability does not start in adulthood. It often starts early. Ask yourself, what did love look like when you were young? If affection was conditional, given when you behaved, achieved, or pleased others, you may have learned that love must be earned. Psychologically, this forms an anxious attachment pattern. Short answer, you learned to equate effort with safety. Why do you mistake being chosen for being loved? Because social validation activates the same neural circuits as physical survival rewards. Being selected by someone signals belonging, and belonging feels like safety. From an evolutionary perspective, being accepted by a group meant protection. So when someone chooses you, your brain interprets it as, I am safe now. Short answer, being chosen feels like survival approval. But here's the problem. Validation is loud and brief. Real love is steady and calm. Why does calm sometimes feel boring? Because your nervous system has become used to emotional spikes. If your baseline is chaos, stability feels flat. Psychology explains this as nervous system conditioning. Your body becomes familiar with adrenaline and cortisol cycles. Short answer, calm feels unfamiliar, not wrong. You may ask, why does the brain chase inconsistency even when it hurts? Because the mind loves unfinished patterns. Uncertainty creates a cognitive gap. Your brain wants closure. Each time a distant person responds after withdrawing, your brain experiences relief and reward. That relief strengthens the loop. Short answer, relief reinforces attachment. How does this affect your decisions in relationships? You trade safety for intensity. You stay in situations where your needs are not met. You ignore red flags because you believe effort will fix the distance. Psychologically, this is called confirmation bias. You focus on signs that support hope and ignore evidence that suggests incompatibility. Short answer, hope distorts judgment. What emotional need are you actually seeking? At the core, it is worthiness. You want proof that you matter. If someone difficult chooses you, it feels like stronger evidence. If they picked me, I must be enough. But healthy love does not require you to prove your value. Short answer, you are chasing worth, not the person. So what is the psychology behind performing in relationships? When you learned early that attention followed achievement, your brain built a rule: perform to belong. This becomes an internal working model. In adulthood, you unconsciously repeat it. You become the agreeable one, the impressive one, the endlessly patient one. Short answer, performance becomes protection. You might wonder, is distance ever a defense mechanism? Yes. Sometimes you choose unavailable people because full intimacy feels risky. If someone cannot fully show up, you never have to fully expose yourself. Psychology calls this avoidance of vulnerability. Distance keeps you safe from deep rejection. Short answer, you avoid deeper fear. Why do steady partners sometimes seem unexciting? Because they do not trigger anxiety. And if anxiety has been paired with love in your past, your body confuses anxiety with chemistry. Secure love feels predictable, and predictability does not create dramatic emotional highs. Short answer, your nervous system mislabels calm as dull. So how do you break the cycle? First, awareness. Ask yourself, am I attracted to this person or am I attracted to the chase? Naming the pattern weakens its power. Second, rebuild internal validation. When your self-worth depends less on external approval, you feel less desperate for inconsistent attention. Practices like journaling small daily wins or affirming "I am enough" retrain your internal dialogue. Psychologically, this builds intrinsic self-worth. Short answer: shift validation inward. Third, test for consistency. Ask small, direct questions. Observe actions over time. Trust grows when words and behavior align repeatedly. This builds secure attachment. Short answer: consistency is the real metric. Fourth, tolerate calm. Notice when your body calls stability boring. Pause instead of withdrawing. Your nervous system needs time to adjust to lower emotional intensity. Short answer: calm feels unfamiliar, not wrong. Fifth, set boundaries. When someone hesitates about commitment or avoids clarity, treat that as data. Boundaries protect emotional health and restore power. Psychologically, boundaries reduce anxiety by increasing control. Short answer: clarity creates safety. Ask yourself, when did I start proving my worth? What message about love did I absorb early in life? How would my choices change if I believed I was already enough? Reflection rewires behavior because insight changes attention, and attention changes action. Healing is not dramatic. It is repetitive and steady. Small, consistent shifts create new neural pathways. Over time, your brain learns that safety does not require struggle. Imagine waking up in a relationship where you don't question where you stand. No guessing games, no emotional roller coaster, just steady presence. That kind of love may not feel explosive at first, but it grows deep roots. The boldest psychological shift you can make is this: choose yourself before you seek proof from someone else. When you stop auditioning for love, you stop mistaking noise for intimacy. And when you build worth from within, you no longer chase distance. You begin to choose differently. And when you choose differently, your story changes.